ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between. Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is most certainly not the fourth time I've tried to record this video because I cannot get audio settings right. Like, I've tried recording this multiple occasions in the past couple of days, and every single time my microphone keeps cutting out while I'm talking. So I've messed around with some settings. I've done a few test recordings, like little clippets here and there, so I'm hoping and I am praying that this works properly. But here we are. We are finally able to talk about the Dreamcatcher London concert that I've been saying I would be talking about. For those of you who do not know, Dreamcatcher were the very first artists that we ever watched over here on the YouTubes, and they are also my alt biases, my alt group. They have been my alt group for going 3 years now. Because I found them roughly around Boca era. I'd known about them before, but I kind of fell head over heels over them during Boca era, so Dystopia Lose myself. And ever since seeing them in K-Pop Flex in May, all I wanted to do was go and see them live again. Going to that festival really just like embedded the seed within me, like this itch that needed to be scratched to go see them live, you know, have you ever gotten that feeling before? Anyways, I'm gonna flip on over to the big screen over here. Now, as you can see, I have a metric butt ton of tabs pulled up. All of these are fan cams from the show that I thought we could talk about a little bit, but I have the set list here pulled up for anyone who's interested. It's also on the Dreamcatcher subreddit. If you just look up London, it's up there. Can't miss it. Anyways, the day of, I was coming from the north, so I had to take a train down to central London, get settled in the B&B, walk over to the venue, things like that. Doors were opening at 6 p.m., so 1800 o'clock. And I was in general admission, so you can't really see. This fourth picture here is the, on the bottom, is the O2 Academy Brixton. And you'll see in the later video, but it's 2 stories. So you have tiered seating on top, then you have a sloped general admission floor area. So even if you are on the shorter end and you're way in the back, you can still have a decent view of the stage because of the way it's looked towards the stage, which is very nice for someone who's only, 5'6", 170 centimeters, and people average height in Britain is taller than I am. Anyways, I get to the venue about 5:30ish, and I see there's a queue lined up. And I was like, okay, this queue isn't so bad. I'll pull up to Google Maps. So this is the entrance here. The red icon you see in like the middle bottom is where the entrance is to the Brixton O2, where the queue to go inside started. When I arrived at the venue, or nearby the venue, the queue, when I joined up, was right next to this bus stop on the right here. And so I'm thinking, okay, this queue isn't that long. I wonder why. Maybe because it might have been raining like earlier in the afternoon. No, that blue line is the extent of the queue that we were in 30 minutes before doors opened. That entire blue line going all the way around the Brixton O2, around the block, and then down the alley into the Brixton O2 building itself. That was the queue to get inside the building. And I'm thinking, wow, are we even going to be able to get inside before the show starts at 7:30? No bother. The line was so smooth. The event staff got people moving. Even like once we got scanned in with our tickets, and we had to go through like a security screening because it's a public event, and this day and age you have to get patted down or like wanded down. For the Dreamcatcher concert, it was like a full-on proper pat down instead of like someone waving an electromagnetic wand around like they did at K-Pop Flex and MIK, like I've been in the past this year. But it was just like I had regular stuff, I had cell phone, earbuds, wallet. I had like winter gloves in my jumper pocket because it was cold. Just patting me down, nothing, too suspicious or anything like that. And they just let me in, and immediately in front there was the merch booth. And now I had gone in completely ready to buy merch. In fact, I went so prepared that all I did was wear a plain t-shirt I'd been wearing the entire day underneath my winter jacket, and that was it. In preparation for buying merch to wear during the show. So I've got the sweatshirt here. I've got a few other bits and bobs, like I've got a foam pop socket, which is the Apocalypse Follow Us insignia in black. Got a key ring, which is the same one in white. I've got a wristband, which is on the wall of lanyards over there. And I also have a t-shirt. Now, this is like roughly what it was supposed to look like. This is like what they had the pre-sale for the early people that showed up. See, you can't see my cursor, but on the bottom right hand side of the screen over there, all those coffin shaped boxes, those are light sticks. They brought a stock of light sticks to sell at these concerts for the entire Europe tour. And boy, I was so excited because, you know, the opportunity to possibly buy a light stick was so enticing. But one, it was 70 GBP, which was a lot of money that I wasn't sure I was ready to spend. And also limited stock. Now, here in the UK, it's fairly difficult to get a hold of a light stick because shipping is so expensive. Even doubly so because the Mongmongis are rechargeable, and shipping lithium batteries here is a pain in the buttskis. So, when I arrived at the queue for the merch booth inside, I was fully ready to either, one, buy the merch or buy the little merch and all the apparel, or buy just a simple t-shirt and the light stick. Those were the two things I was ready to spend money on. And while I'm in the queue, I see, you know, the stack of boxes start to dwindle, and then eventually the two display light sticks on the wall come off. And then the piece of paper that says light sticks sold out. I'm thinking, oh shoot. Well, a part of me was like, that sucks. But another part of me is like, having a light stick isn't like a necessity in the world. It's like, it's a lot of money. You've already spent a lot of money on the trip. You can just like make up for it with a sweatshirt, yada yada yada. You know, I was like talking myself out of it. And in the end, you know, I didn't get a light stick, but that's okay. There will be opportunities in the future. And then bought the apparel, put it all on, went inside the venue, and here we go. Let's see if I can get this right. The venue inside was nuts. Like, let me make sure this is accurate very quickly. Give me 1 second. I think this works, but like, so this is a video I have on my phone. One of the few videos I have on my phone of what it was like inside. It's a very interestingly styled interior, the O2 Brixton. But like the floor and this crowd up above in the seating area, the energy was so nice. Like, I think this is the point I wanted to make right now before I forget it. Was I'd been to MIK and I'd been to K-pop Flex in the past. Those have been music festivals with, you know, a variety of different groups. But one thing that was common for me was that there was a part of me that felt like I was out of place. Because I traveled alone. I'm like a mid-20s age male that, you know, visually looks Eastern Asian, speaks like an American. My introverted ass couldn't deal with like people interactions, things like that. And it's just like, there's a part of me, it's like there's a reason why I used to be a closeted K-pop fan, because like I feel like I was getting judged. And even at K-pop Flex, like being in a minority demographic within the audience is slightly terrifying, especially if it's dealing with K-pop stans. Like, I'm sorry to paint you all in a negative light and I'm generalizing here, but K-pop Flex was kind of a terrifying moment for me. Because I felt like if I was singing along to the artist or dancing along, I would feel all these like eyeballs boring into the back of my head, because it's just like, I felt like people were saying, what is this dude doing? It's just, why is he embarrassing himself? And us, like that kind of feeling, you know? I didn't get that here. Like, the demographic here was so good. There was so, like, the energy was so welcoming and so wholesome. It was people from all walks of life here. Like, in the queue, there was like a group of high schoolers that had shown up there in full uniform still. There was a 3-generational family in the seating up above I saw on Twitter. Like, a daughter brought their parents, they brought their parents with them to the show, you know, people of various ethnic backgrounds, various spoken languages, couples of all orientations, people of all ages, people from all walks of life. It was just, the demographic was so wide that you couldn't stand out if you tried to. And that was so comforting to me as someone who's like kind of has social anxiety and is also like very introverted and traveling alone to these kinds of things. It's just like there was no awkwardness or hesitation I felt when I entered the venue, which was so good, and it made the experience so much better. But we're doing this all in one take, so deal with me, because I can't, I'm trying to get this done kind of succinctly. So 7:30 comes around, the show starts, and let me tell you, this intro, spine chilling. Like, so this is intro Catacol X from the recent album. Like, when those like sirens start blaring, the lights start flashing, and the members' silhouettes are revealed in that white light, it is so cool. It is, you can't help but get goosebumps when you're there. And then you see all the light sticks flash, the Mongmongis in the crowd. They all turn red, and then Vision starts. This song is so good. And like, this I hadn't heard live because they hadn't had a chance to perform it yet, right? Vision is unbelievable. And during this song was when I realized that I was going to be a very busy Somnia, because I was singing along and dancing along to a good chunk of the song. And it's just like, you can't help but to sing along when you're there in person, you know? Like, my voice be damned, I'm going to sing along to it. And like, this was a song where, you know, we see the full fits. Like, in Warsaw, they had the, like, red, or I think it was Warsaw, it might have been Amsterdam, I don't actually remember. But I would have loved to see the red and black fits, because that's, I think, my favorite concept. But instead, we got this one. This is from the 20th of October's M Countdown stage. We got a variation of this stage that is fits, which was awesome to see. But we're just gonna go through, like, you know, various fan cams here and there, just run through the set list roughly. So we'll go back and forth from the set list. We got the recent title tracks. Vision is great. Dami's rap verse is absolutely nuts live. Like, the fans go crazy, I go crazy, she goes crazy. It's just a good time. Maison. The final chorus and the bridge is so special live. Like, yes, they performed it at K-Pop Flex, but it's different when this fan cam is, you know, right up front. I was standing about 10 meters back from the stage. At K-Pop Flex, I was on the complete other side of the stadium. Like, there was an entire football pitch in between the stage and where I was sat. So I wasn't really enjoying it to the fullest, but when you're in like a more intimate environment like you are at the O2 Rixon, it's insane. And like, I'll turn the volume up a little bit. This bridge is so special. And do you hear the fans singing along? And Sua here, she hits this choreo so hard it almost looks painful. Like, how she doesn't like throw out every single like joint and limb in her body, I don't understand, because she hits that choreo ridiculously hard. Shion's high note, a classic. I love that. Honestly, all the ending to Maison is one of my favorite moments in a Dreamcatcher song in recent times. It's so good. But recent title tracks, we'll go back to the set list. Vision, Maison, because everyone knows what song is coming because of the formation they start in. Then we have a member spiel. It was roughly like 3 songs per break, which was, you know, a nice pace. Next we got the member introductions, get the whole spiel. They're happy to be here in London. last time they were in London was 2019. They didn't have light sticks back then, because so everyone was waving around their phone flashlights back and forth. But now there was a sea of just momois out in the crowd with the two different like headstock pieces, and just it must have been so cool for them to see, because they've traveled, you know, to this tiny island country halfway around the world, and there's just a sea of their fans just throwing love towards them. It must have been so cool to see from their perspective, at least. And within the first three songs, you could tell that everyone was having a good time. And when I say everyone, I mean literally everyone. The crowd absolutely loving it. The 7 members themselves absolutely loving it. The bar staff in the back absolutely losing it. Security staff in the front were bopping along. Even backstage crew. Like, where I was standing, you could see where stage left was, and all the people controlling the lights and the audio and stuff. AV guy was absolutely losing his mind over Maison, and it was so cute to see, because he just had this smile on his face, was just bopping up and down. It's adorable. And then we have the first B-sides. Red Sun. Now, Red Sun from Dystopia Tree of Language is one of my favorite B-sides because of one singular moment. So we're gonna run the entire fan cam because I love the song so much, and you need the full impact. Also, 7-member version, because Handong wasn't part of promotions during this time. Listen to the crowd during Tommy's rappers coming up here. It's just, she has this like command over the crowd during her rap verses. It's unbelievable. Fast forward. Oh, yes. That is the single coolest moment in the entire song. It's even live. Just, you see the snap, and all the front lights go out and the back lights come on, so their silhouettes are just illuminated while the snap is happening. Like, oh, spine chilling. This is, like, I would have been satisfied with this moment alone, and that's okay. Then they did Rainy Day in Jazz Bar, you know, slow down the pace a little bit. You know, we're getting too energetic too fast. Gotta save the energy for the rest of the show. Another member moment. Next one. Okay, so they did some Road to Utopia stuff, like Poison Love. I was really hoping they would do the choreo from the Self-Made MV, you know, the kind of the head shake and the head swinging, that like practice room choreo they did in the Self-Made MV. They didn't do it, which is okay. Just wish they would have done it, just being a little bit selfish. Orai, this hand choreo in Orai, you know the one? This was, I love that choreo, and being able to do it along with them was so cool. In fact, the guy next to me was also doing it, and we locked eyes during the chorus when we were doing it. We just had a good chuckle. We're like, yeah, hello, good choreo, stuff like that. And then Scream. Now, every single song from Dystopia Lose Myself and Dystopia The Tree of Language notoriously only had 6 members because Handong was in China in her survival show thing. So the original versions never had Handong choreographed into it, with an asterisk. Of course, the Scream MV had that masked figure implying Handong's position in the song. But being able to witness Scream live as OT7 is so special, because I know how much it hurt the members that Handong couldn't be there to promote, considering especially that Scream Era was their very first full-length album. But being able to see them all 7 together performing live is so nice. And also, Gahyun, during the masks choreo on this section absolutely owns it. Like, she knows it's boss maknae moment, and I love it. Just, I really hope I got the timing right. Yes, I did. And I love that you have members on the side that are just hyping her up as well. But like this rap section here, oh, and we get Handong. But like the whole song is just so good. And it's like, even Gyeon's like mass part, it's really simple and she doesn't do a lot. It's just the moment is so iconic and she knows that she's the center of attention there and just owns it. I love that about this song. And then we get to this. Everyone knows about the No Dot Challenge and the member solos from Apocalypse Save Us. If you've ever seen any clip from any of the previous two DC tours, the one in America and the one in Europe, you will know just how much of a hold the No Dot challenges had on Samya's globally. Because for some reason, No Dot is like the signal for the members to absolutely turn off all their filter. And of course, how the solo dance segment worked was all the members drew names out of a bag to choose who was going to perform their like solo song. Like for here, Tommy got chosen to do Beautiful. I think she was like second or third to be chosen, so she does the killing part in front of, you know, the crowd and the rest of her members. I love that. I love that part. You get the point. So each member goes one by one by one. Then eventually Sua's name gets pulled. For she was 6 out of 7, so only Shion hadn't been pulled before her. And of course, when Sua's name is drawn and she performs No Dot, that's the signal for the rest of the members to do the No Dot challenge. And first was Shion and Yuhyun. Now, I hadn't actually seen this live because I was too short.
Are you guys ready?
And so I couldn't see what they were doing initially. I had to see this on Twitter after I got back to the B&B after the show. Honestly, like, the No Dot challenge is ridiculous, but I love the members in the back. That's the best part, because the members absolutely creasing in the background is my favorite part about the entire challenge. Obligatory fans screaming their head off, very important. And then the third person was Dami, who apparently had been chosen a few times during this tour. Also couldn't see this because she was on the floor and I was way in the back. But just Yuhyun absolutely cringing, Sua losing it, Jiu being like, wait, hold on, like, hey, yo, wait, hold up. This song is so good too. Regardless of if the members like absolutely lose it. Oh, yep, that was also a thing. How this person recording survived that, I don't know. But so we had the member challenges. Yeah, they just kept on talking a little bit more. I forget if this was when it happened or it was in the next intermission, but it was a little bit of a scary moment in the floor, where I think fans who hadn't been hydrated enough and who'd been like screaming too much or like getting pressed in too tightly, a couple of them had fallen ill or during the show. And in the first break, they had told us, the members had told us that if something had gone wrong, that, you know, hold a big X over our head so event staff could know that, you know, someone needed help. And honestly, the fans were so, like, accommodating to that. Like, immediately someone goes down, you just see, like, 7 arms go up in the air holding big X, and just, you see the crowd all of a sudden just move back to give space to the people who needed it. And it was so heartwarming to see that, like, the fans, it didn't matter who these people were, that if someone needed help, that they were going to get it. And just this sense of camaraderie throughout the entire show was absolutely brilliant. But anyways, back to the show. We have more B-side stuff. Break the Wall, I think. Yes, Break the Wall. Break the Wall is... I love this song so much. It's the whole radio effect and the heavy rock sound together. And of course, being there live, being able to like headbang and wave along with the song was so thrilling. And like the song itself is, you know, I'm waiting for the vocal effect to kick in. I love, it's such a creative way to bring vocals into the song, and because they take off that filter in the chorus. And I remember seeing the Primavera performance of this, and it was just so cool, because that was a rock festival in Spain, and Dreamcatcher got called to it. Like, how cool is that? That's what they did this year. Wild stuff. So, Breaks the Wall, Locked Inside a Door. Everyone's classic, Locked Inside a Door. Everyone knows there's a singular moment in this song, right? Watch Tommy. She loves it. He's just like, yep, say it, say it. And like, the stage crew around the back were laughing as well. And it's just like, how Dreamcatcher managed to get a group, just a room of like thousands of British insomnias to swear in Korean. It must have been so amusing to them, because they have been doing this, you know, all across Europe and all across America, and probably every single time they have see a fan swearing in Korean. That must have been so amusing. Bet that never gets old. Outside door, Silent Night. Oh boy. Silent Night, the EDM drop in Silent Night live is actually nuts. Like, I've never been to an EDM festival, but I imagine this is what it feels like. Just people jumping around to the point where you can almost feel the floor shake. That's impressive to do. That drop is just so good. It's such a good drop. Wind Blows. I love Wind Blows. It's personally one of my favorite recent B-sides. I think it's... Do I like it over Poison Love? I don't know. I love the entire Road to Utopia album. It's such a good album. But I love the choreo to Wind Blows. It's one of my favorite choreos. And I was trying to dance along to it. And I think my attempts were amusing to some people around me. But then they joined in on the second chorus, and it was like, yeah, alright, I got you. Here we go. Let's have some fun. Boca. Boca, Boca, Boca. Now, Boca arguably has the single most iconic moment in any Dreamcatcher song ever written. Hold Up, I'm a Geek, The Big Paradox. Even before we got to this part, Handong is in it. OT7 Boca. Very important, because she didn't participate on the track originally. Boca live. Everyone knows as the song starts what's coming, and it comes at you quick, because before you realize, you get to hear Handong gets her moment. That was the loudest moment of the entire show. Like, even with all the screaming that people were doing as like the show started, I don't think there was a single louder moment than "Hold Up, I'm a Geek, the Big Paradox." And look how Dami just absolutely owns this moment. Just like, watch her presence here, because there's supposed to be choreo here that she does, but no, she just walks up. Wild, 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 wild scenes. Then we get into the recent B-sides: Fairy Tale, Starlight, Some Love. I said in my album listen that Some Love coming straight after Fairy Tale, because I love Fairy Tale so much, ruined the listening experience for me. But having Starlight tucked in between really helped, because Some Love Live was actually really good. Something about it had this charm to it that I didn't catch on initially. But yeah, and then the show was over. Or was it? Because we get the encore stages. Because every show needs an encore stage. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so we'll do the Over the Sky one, because I think this had my favorite moment in the show. There was, I forget who it was. But someone on Twitter who had been following the entire leg of the Europe tour brought cutouts of members' faces to wave around. And at the London show, well, you'll see. Sue was pointing towards the cutout. And it's a cutout of Gahyun. And of course, this being Sue, you know. Also, look who's singing right now. It's Gahyun. And this absolutely creasing. Sue is off in her own world at this point. They're such dorks, man, and I love them. My favorite dorks. But, so that's pretty much how the encore goes. It's just a lot of people singing, dancing, you know, it's the last song, everyone knows that the show is going to end, but it's like, end the show on a happy note, use the last bit of energy you have and just enjoy it with us kind of feeling, you know what I mean? And like, even, so, I think, was it? Over the Sky was the first song they did for their encore. And just the way they come back out onto stage after 2 hours of constant singing and performing, and just like my favorite dorks. Man, watching all these fan cams again makes me miss going to that show. Because that was genuinely, like, one of the best times I've ever had at a concert. And, yeah, they waved to the crowd with Outro Mother Nature, and that was the end of the show. 2 hours and 10 minutes of Dreamcatcher. And just how fortunate I was just be able to have the chance to see my old group perform like that. I will never forget that moment. I'll also never forget the moment the post-concert depression kicked in. I was waiting at the bus rink to get the bus back to my B&B, and as soon as I hopped on the bus and the doors closed, that was the moment that my brain decided to say, like, yeah, you're done with the Dreamcatcher concert, buddy. There's no more of that. And man, that bus ride back to the B&B was tough, let me tell you. But I lost my voice. I danced until my knees hurt. I sang until my voice gave out. And just, it was such a good experience. Does my wallet hate me? Oh, absolutely. This trip was very expensive. A lot more money than I was actually supposed to be spending. But, you know, I can live off of markdown grocery store stuff for a couple weeks and kind of make up for that. Yeah, that was one of the best like 3 hours of my life. Like probably up there with like graduating from university, graduating from my master's degree, winning my first ever golf tournament, celebrating a state trophy at the 4th of July parade in America. It's up there for like moments in my life that I will never forget. And honestly, to all of you who have the ability to go see an artist live and have the monetary funds to be able to go see an artist live, I highly suggest you do it, because it is so worth it. Like, you can enjoy listening to an artist's songs, like their studio versions, through your headphones or through your speakers somewhere, and listen to like the album versions and still enjoy it. But listening to it live, being in a crowd, high energy crowd, there to listen to the music, feeling the bass and the drums literally punch you in your sternum, seeing the members perform on stage with your own very eyes, not through a screen, and just listening to the droves and waves of fans screaming and dancing along, you will not get that experience at home or at the comfort of your own like headphones or screens or speakers or whatever. And frankly, it doesn't matter who the artist is, as long as you, one, enjoy the music, two, know of their music, or three, just even like trying a new artist you never even heard of. Listening to it live is an experience like none other. It can be like a jazz quartet from your university that's performing at a coffee shop. It can be like teenagers in a garage band. It can be an opera artist. It can be like a bagpiper busking on the street. It can be a rock group. It can be a pop group. Like, even in K-pop, it can be someone simple, like, you know, maybe Ailey's on a solo tour, Brave Girls are in town, bigger groups like Monsta X are in town, ranging to, you know, the super massive big groups like Blackpink and BTS. The live experience is still the same. It's something that you will not get listening to an album, and it is an experience that I implore you, if you have the chance to, you go do it, because it will be life-changing for you. But that's enough rambling for me, I'm thinking. It's been close to 40 minutes on this raw recording. I think I might just do this whole thing one take, considering, you know, I've done this 3 previous times already, so I know, like, I could pretty much like say it thinking that I'm reading off of a script and things like that. So yeah, that's it from me. If you made it this far through all the rambling and me gushing over DC, leave in the comments section Duke London, DEUKAE London in the comments. You'll get a heart and a thumbs up from me. Thanks for sticking with me this far, because if I was watching, I wouldn't have had the patience to watch this far. But yeah, enough rambling. I'm gonna end it now before I fail to end the video properly. Channel icon is up there if you want to check out more from me. Check out the back catalog of all the stuff I've reacted to in the past. Drop a subscription if you want to keep up to date with whenever I upload new videos. And if you want to watch another video of mine right away, YouTube recommends you watch that video down there. And until next time, enjoy your music, enjoy life, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.